Hello everyone, greetings from PayTap's technical support team. In this series, you will learn how to integrate with PayTaps through our PT2 API endpoints. And here, we will walk you through the third integration type, which is the managed form. For the purpose of this series, we have created a very simple Laravel project to walk you through the integration process. But feel free to follow the steps in this series with your own project, whatever the programming language or the framework used to integrate with PayTaps. So, let's get started. In this video, we are going to learn more about the initial setup and the basic requirement, the system requirement, all the needs that you need to have before starting the actual integrating with our managed form integration type and our managed form APIs. So, let's get started. Before we start, the first thing that you need to know is that you can find the full documentation for this part inside PayTap support portal under the article called the Managed Form APIs Integration Manual. So in this video, we are not actually going to learn about the managed form itself or how are we going to the integration or what is the payment workflow, how everything is working. No, we are actually going to just learn about the basic requirement and all the requirements that we need before starting the actual integration. So as you can see here inside our integration manual, that you will see the first step for each or any of our integration manual is related to setting up and let's say activating the integration method, which is in this case the managed form APIs. So basically this step is discussing or clarifying four parts: the PCR requirement, the system requirement, the actual setup, and the supported payment methods. So starting with the PCI requirement, this integration type actually requires you to be a PCI certified. You can check this article to learn more about what is the PCI certificate and what is the PCI DSS, why does PayTaps need this PCI certification and all of these details. But what you need to know in this video right now, that in order to integrate with our managed form integration type, you need to be PCI certified, and as mentioned over here, you need to have your PCI certificate need to be a minimum of SAC A-EB. So this is because in this payment or in this integration, you are going to be actually your system will be handling the card details will be managed by PayTaps, but your system will be making the form that will be using the payment and the payment will be done through. So again, if you want to learn more about PCI, you can check the solution article. You know now that you need to be PCI certified with a minimum of SAC A-EB. But if you are not PCI certified, again, we need to mention that you can still integrate through our hosted payment page. You can check out our hosted payment page, and if you want your customers not to be redirected to another website or PayTap's hosted payment page, you will be able to embed the hosted payment page with our powerful iframe mode that you can learn more about from this solution article over here. So now that we know the PCI requirement, we can get back to the next part, which is the system requirement. And actually for this part, you don't need any system requirements. All what you need to have is to have a ready PayTaps merchant account. You need to register with PayTaps, have a ready account, and once you have your PayTaps account, you'll be ready to go. Now going through the next part, which is the setting up. Again, no actual requirement needed in this case. You don't need to set up anything, you didn't need anything. All what you need to have is you need your backend ready to send requests to PayTaps. You need to have a proper client, because of course you can't use your front end to send any request to PayTaps. So maybe HTTP client from the framework you're using or the programming language you're using. Maybe you can use Postman if you're still in the testing stage. And finally, as you can see inside the supported payment methods, as here we are just making payment, not the hosted payment page, we are just making card payments. So you will only have these card payments supported, no other APMs will be supported, as this will be a form for only cards payment. Now, we have learned about the initial needs or the initial requirement that you need before starting the actual integration. Another thing that you can see is actually in step 2, uh, Step 2 is normally for configuring the integration method. So actually there is no much configuration to do. You just need to have your minimum information that you can get from your merchant dashboard. You need to learn, like for example, the proper endpoint. You can check our solution article, what is my region endpoint URL, to know the correct endpoint based on your region, like this. Also, you need, of course, to know your authentication and API keys, how to get it from your merchant dashboard. So you can check our solution article, how to get my authentication, integration, API keys. This will all be easily found inside your merchant dashboard. Also, and finally, you need to know your profile ID, and your profile ID is also you can get from your merchant dashboard. You can check our solution article, how to get your account information from PT2 dashboard. Now, these are not just the configuration, these are the simple details that we will need to start the actual integrating and start the actual requesting or making a payment through our managed form integration type. Now in the next video we are going to learn more about the integration type itself, the payment workflow, all the details needed. So let's move forward.